have that instinct automatically? Because remember, some of this stuff is genetic. They either have it or they don't, right? This is what it's all about, people. Watch out, good boy! He must know that I'm in the dog fight with him. I'm next to him side by side. We have a bond that's unbreakable. Wow, what an intro, man. What an intro. You guys like that intro?
We do.
Definitely, yes.
And I know it's late with you guys are. Let me fix something here. Hold on for a minute. Hold on. There we go. Beautiful. I want to make sure everything is straight. You know what I'm saying? I have to make sure it's right. Yeah, people are logging in. So yeah, I want to say, thanks for coming in. I know it's 12 o'clock my time. Pacific Standard is 3 o'clock East Coast time, and it's 8 o'clock where you guys are, correct? 8 o'clock.
In Greece is 9 o'clock.
It was 9. So Greece is an hour ahead of Poland.
Yes.
Correct, yeah.
Got it. So I want to say this is usually I usually do these on the weekend because of times, but I usually when I do it, it's the same time. But we did it today. Mike forced me to do it today, and so we're here. So I got a special guest and a friend here today as well. Michael Bugabowski. Is that close enough?
Almost.
Yes. And I got Demetrius. I'm not going to have to pronounce his last name. We just call him Demis. All right.
Yeah.
We just call him Demetrius. And Demetrius is in Greece, Athens, Greece. And we talked about the fact that why do Greece have so many cats? Right. My wife went there. Yeah, my wife went there and she's like, Jesus, this is a lot of cats, but I'd rather have a lot of cats around versus having a lot of rats, right? So cats are I got 2 cats, by the way. Mike's in the same office in Poland. So we're at good times now. So I brought these 2 guys on to talk about the common denominator, which is dogs. I think that dogs are truly a man's best friend. They're very loyal. They give you, what is it, unconditional love. Unlike my wife and previous wives, their love for me is conditional, based on conditions. Dogs unconditionally love you. But I wanted to get right into it and talk about your passion for the Doberman breed. But before I do, can you tell the people who you are, Demetrius, and what got you into this particular breed, which is the Doberman?
I met the Dobermans in 1998. At that time, I was working at a fitness gym, like fitness trainer, and I must say that I was very happy that I saw that legendary Flex Wheeler as one Doberman puppy.
Flex Wheeler?
Yes, I saw.
You know that's my friend, right?
Oh, I saw your face.
Okay.
I'm very happy because he was one of my idols in sports, in bodybuilding, one of the best physiques ever in history of the sport. And in the gym that I was working in, we had his famous black and white photos that he was posing like Greek statue, ancient Greek statue, you know. And the owner of the gym, he had one Doberman, and that's how I got involved in the breed. That's how I started in 1990.
1990. So how long have you known Mike, and how did you guys meet?
Mike, I think our first meeting online via emails was at 2008, if I remember well. And our first personal meeting was in 2009 at the Italian Championship of Dobermans. Is that correct, Mike?
I think so. It was 2009 in Monteluco di Spoleto.
Exactly.
And you guys were at a dog show? somebody entered the studio, somebody named Sandra. You there?
Yes, we are
Hey, Mike, do you know who Sandra is?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right. No big deal. Go ahead. Go
Probably
ahead.
friend breeder of Rottweiler female.
Okay. Okay. So did you guys meet at a particular Doberman dog show during that time?
Yes, at the Italian one.
The Italian one?
The Italian one that at that time was most famous specialty show for Dobermans in the world.
Wow. I just went to Mike was my chaperone, I would say, for this most recent IDC show in Croatia. You didn't get a chance to go to that, did you?
Yes, I was there.
You was there?
Yes,
So,
yes, I was there. I handled 6 Dobermans at that show.
Oh yeah, you brought 6?
6 Dobermans of some friends. I was their handler. All 6 they were in finals.
Mike, why you didn't introduce me to Demetrius there?
There were so many
because
people.
I was extremely busy,
Several hundreds people, and to get to know everybody, it's literally impossible. Then Dimitris was one of the handlers, so he was running from ring to ring, handling different dogs. He even handled the brown dog that you took a video with this girl from Finland. So he was the handler of that particular dog. And then he was also taking
from Finland.
Yeah. And then he was also taking videos and photos, so he was quite occupied during the whole event. But since you are coming next year too, then you guys both will meet in person.
Yeah, I'm going to the one in Denmark. Definitely going to the one in Denmark. If there's one sooner, I'll be going to that one too. Let me ask you something. I didn't stay for the Sunday show, but I was definitely there for all day Saturday show. What was your impression of this year's show?
Michael.
Dimitris, the floor is yours.
It's on you, Dimitris.
Thank you. First of all, I must say that the organization of Croatian Kennel Doberman Club was excellent. They did really, really great job. The rings were very big, very good ground, excellent everything. Also, I must say that the quality of Dobermans this year was a little bit higher than in the previous years. I saw many good dogs, especially young ones, puppies, and some adult dogs that were very interesting for me.
It was, Mike. What do you think your impression was? What was your impression, Mike, of this show?
Well, overall, it was a good show. Just like Dimitri said, it was well organized and everything was on point in terms of how the show should be held. And here there is no issue. If it comes to dogs, the quality, I wouldn't say that it was like the big improvement in quality, as I think from year to year we can't see a big difference in quality of dogs. It's rather something that can be observed within the timeline of few years at least. But I do agree that we had this year some young dogs, surprisingly some young males, and in puppy class the quality was quite good. So yeah, among the young ones, the quality was noticeably high.
Yeah. My impression was, from what I saw, first of all, the people were great to me. And it was weird because a lot of them had knew of me from online, and I was friends with them on Facebook as well. But a lot of them had followed me, and I didn't know that. And it was just, I felt like a miniature rock star, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit famous. But for me, I think I'm used to the natural flopped ear with the tail detached look. And some of the some of the dogs that won, that placed, this is just my interpretation. Um, some of them placed first that surely should have placed second, but I wasn't a judge. And on a couple occasions, there were some people, it was a woman, I don't know her name. Even if I did, I wouldn't say it, that she was closely good friends with one of the judges. And it was already set in stone that she was going to place. And I was like, her dog clearly, structural wise, was not better than the dog that came in second place, who should have came in first. With that being said, there's always going to be politics in this kind of sport, even over here in the USA, whether it's IGP, whether it's confirmation, whether it's dock diving, there's always going to be politics involved, right? Who you know. My personal opinion, I was surprisingly shocked that Christine from Casa Colinas, she brought her dogs, and the dogs that she was competing against were dogs from her dogs. So it's like, yeah, she got second place, but the person that won first place is an offspring from her dog Axel. And then the dog that placed third place was an offspring from Axel. So it's really like she really won. Like you won first, second, and third because it's really your lineage, right? And I was a little bit shocked that there were so many dogs from that line, and also from a lot of other lines that has been out there for a long time. You know, I was surprised that I didn't see any of Simon dogs in the show on Saturday. Simon from Del Nazi. I was expecting him. I talked with him for a few, and I was expecting him to have certain dogs there, but he didn't have any on that day. Maybe he may have had some dogs on Saturday, but and I was surprised to meet the lady who owned Ty Remy Max. I've known her for 10, 12 years. I met her. The breeder from Via Felicium. I'm meeting these people for the first time, even though we've done business together. So I loved it. I loved being in a whole different country. I was treated very good. So it made me felt so comfortable there that I want to go to the next one and then the next one, because now you got people like Christine who traveled equivalent from New York to California for a dog show. And that shows you that the passion they have. And I know from my experience that not all the breeders are going to like each other at all. But when they're on stage, they're mano a mano trying to give their best. And you can see it, man. And the weather was cool. But when that sun came out, it started getting hot, right? And they were still giving it all. So that's my impression of IDC. And I can't wait to go to next year's show.
How many hours of traveling did you have from USA?
Shit, maybe airline travel from LA to London was 9, and from London to Belgrade, what was the city I flew in, Mike?
Belgrade or Zagreb?
Zagreb. Roughly combined like maybe 12 hours, but it was cool though. I mean,
I had 15 from Athens to Zagreb by car.
See, and I think Christine, Mike, didn't she travel like 3,000? I don't know how you guys calculate it, but it's almost like over 3,000 miles, wasn't it?
Well, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it took the whole week. So for sure it was, I would say, close to at least 5,000-6,000 kilometers one way. Yeah, so it's a hell of a trip. And this year it was just the well, it was a bigger group of people from Russia than year or two ago. But me and Dimitris remember times when there were full buses of Russian people coming to see to the IDC show. So right now we see just a small group of people, but there were times where dozens of them made this trip to show their dogs at the IDC. And you mentioned before about the politics and how one dog probably, or, here everything is subjective and each judge has its own personal taste and he might like some people better over the other. But the show like IDC have, let's say, 400 dogs entered. That means at least 400 different decisions made by different judges. Then those dogs have to be selected into placements. Then they got into finals. So if you think about the number of different decisions that the judge has to make, for sure there will be some that you might find outrageous, biased, or not fully right. But on the other hand, which people do not see or don't want to see, is that many decisions that could be considered as political, in fact, they are fair. So, we have IDC show, one, two dogs or three are placed not the way people, or let's say the spectators expect it to be, but these are just one, two, three dogs, and all
Right.
other judgments are more or less fair. So people are always run by these, emotions that this particular dog didn't deserve, or that one was, underestimated. But as a total, the shows are not that bad, and you see that people still like to take part. They still uh, do efforts, spend their money, their holidays, and make it to come to shows like IDC. Dimitris, what do you think about politics in dog shows?
Basically, I agree with you. Politics, people, they are going to speak about politics every time. Who does not win will speak about politics. It's not all politics. I don't like this discussion about politics every time. I'm handler. I'm trying to do my job as best, as better as I can, and I don't care. For me, important is to present the dog in the best possible way in the ring, for people to see the dog, for judges to see the dog, and at the end of the day, we will see who is going to be the winner. But always, people who don't win, they are complaining, and I don't like this too much.
I agree. I think in all the show was phenomenal. And I don't think it's money involved, is it, for people who place? It's more of pride and
Yeah.
accomplishment, correct? So think about that. It's like there's no money to gain in regards to from the actual IDC club. Now, will they benefit financially from other when they sell their puppies? They can justify the price of the pups now, right? This is a very interesting question, and I have a couple in mind. And I've been a Doberman guy since 2010, 2000, end of 2009, beginning of 2010. I bought my first Euro Dobie from um, um, King of Darkness. Um, if you can clone a couple of dogs from the past and knowing what they were during that time, and this is for you, Demetrius, which sires would you resurrect and clone again?
Probably, I must say, first, Graf Quirinus van Nerlandstam.
Gafford?
Graf Quirinus van Nerlandstam
Okay.
From Holland. He was probably the most important sire during the 90s. He's had many great progeny. He was very important for the breed, for the development of the breed, because he he brought to the breed great substance, bone structure, excellent top line, excellent rear angulations, and generally he improved a lot the breed. If I must say which dog is my personal favorite, then I must say Gino Gomez de Cito, who was, for my opinion, the type improver. He improved the type of the breed. He gave to the breed something really special that even until today, it touched our heart. My personal favorite.
What about you, Mike?
I do agree with Dimitris. He went a little bit deeper, saying, bringing up Graf Quirinius. This is the dog that infiltrated the breed in the early 90s. And apart from him, we have a group of dogs coming from his line that did a great job. So, yeah, he really did a big thing in the 90s to bring strength and good bone structure in Dobermans and strong heads.
At the time, it was very important for the breed what he offered to the breed.
Right, he changed the breed, and the strength that we observe in many dogs is coming in large extent from Quirinius. And what Dimitris later said about Gino Gomez, I fully agree. I believe that there is no other dog that really infiltrated the breed, the quality that we see today in Dobermans. It's fully thanks to Gino Gomez. If we track most prominent kennels in Europe, wherever it would be, Russia, Italy, ex-Yugoslavia, let's say the Balkans, Hungary, over 70% of kennels, they had their like a big new chapter in terms of quality, by all means, character and the conformation, thanks to Gino Gomez. So I strongly believe that this is the dog that we miss the most today and deserve to be cloned.
About
like no other in the breed.
About character of Gino in reproduction, I would like to add. I asked once the late, great, legendary Italian trainer Roberto Donini what was his opinion about Gino Gomez in character. He said to me the following words: Gino Gomez was super in character, and what he gives in reproduction is even more super. And he mean about working ability, the Dobermans, not just prey drives and play drives.
One of the many things about Gino, I remember Gino Gomez del Saton, is he lived about damn near 12 years, which is a very long time for Dobermans nowadays.
Yes.
For me, and you guys went deep because he did change the genotype and he changed the phenotype of the Doberman. The other dogs have changed the geno and phenotype as well. But I think if we could clone a couple of dogs that I would love to have a dog from. One of them is named Graphic. I like him. The other one was Colt di Pellanetta. And I know it sounds crazy. I'm a little bit biased, but I know what he produced. Arthur von Murkison Leo. So, and you can, and because I'm friends with Caroline, you can throw in Midgard, so, but those, I think it would be between Arthur and Colt. Colt was to me as an American, from what I saw, Colt was a great producer. He produced a lot of puppies here in the United States that had his phenotype, the structure, the head, the temperament, and I do like Famous Fidel, but yeah, Arthur von Murkison Leo and Colt di Pellanetta, So my question is to you then, when we get to that, since Gino Gomez del Saton changed the game for you guys in the late '90s, there was another dog that changed the game too in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and that was is it Feder Del Nazi? Just the
Fedor.
look, Feder Del Nazi. Just the look alone, um, he had a different look. Out here in the United States, they're now calling that look hypertype. But to me, I think he changed the game out here to the Americans, where it's all about the thickness, the structure, the wrinkles, the forehead, and even producing dogs like Cedar. I think Cedar is an offspring from Feder. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And I think Cedar produced that other dog, which I am not a fan of, by the way, Hunter Vital Screens. But to get back to the original question, what do you think about the two dogs that I said that? And be honest, about Arthur and Colt. What do you think about those two? Demetrius, you first.
Colt, I have seen only once. I have seen some nice progeny of him. I remember him in IDC in Hungary. I think he was placed in Final Four, a very big, impressive dog. And the other one, who is Leo Marqueson?
Arthur von Murkison Leo.
Yes, I think he was he lived long also. I think, and I have seen some nice progeny out of him with a very good character. And about Fedor that you mentioned before, I think that Fedor is the greatest producer in the history of the breed, considering the number of the IDC Ziggers that he has produced so far. He's the record holder. He broke the record of Gino.
That's why Simon was walking around like he was the ambassador of the whole.
and the progeny group of Fedor in IDC in Hungary in 2011, if I'm not wrong, it was something spectacular. I will never forget.
Yeah,
a great moment. I was there with Mike.
What do you? This is for you, Demetrius, and then Mike. I want you to answer it because it's gonna go for you as well. What have you seen changed, whether it's for good or for bad, in the Doberman breed over the past 20 years?
There is a lot of change in the breed, basically with the influence of social media, and there are many trendy, dogs that are sold around, out of type, hyper types, that then this change a little bit the taste of the people. And in Dobermans, the bigger and the stronger is not the better. The better is the most typical, and we lose the type sometimes. Not at the big shows, I would say, because I think specialist judges, at least some of them, they're doing work. But around at mediocre quality shows, we see many Dobermans out of type, extremely big, extremely tall, extremely strong, with short muzzle, with deep stop, and too much lips. They got some titles and they are sold for a lot of money.
What about you, Mike?
Well, if I think about past 20 years, in this period, last 20 years, the breeders were taking benefit from the great job that breeders in 80s and 90s did. So most good kennels over last 20 years, they took advantage from the heritage that was left by breeders in Holland, in Germany, in Belgium. Like all these big kennels are built on kennels: Frankenhorst, Roveline, Nerlandstamm, Nordenstamm. And the path that breeders took was right. I think from 2000 till 2010-15, you could see that the breed is really developing on a nice trajectory. Year by year, many nice dogs showing. And now, 25 years later, you see that kennels today are built on the kennels from early 2000. Like many good dogs, many new kennels come from Del Nasi, from Tahireme, from Perlanera. But we no longer see that the breed is really developing. Like you don't see this number of good dogs, and like the quality is all the time there in dogs. Plus, social media didn't change the type, but changed the taste, what people like. And we are not out of the type, but we are moving and playing with the type of the breed. Like, we talked about standard many times, and standard says one thing, how the dog should look like. But the people want the Doberman that does not look like standard says. But the people, the customers, they define the market. And then the breeders start breeding the dogs that are out of type. And out of type means out of quality. So right now we see like two movements. One movement stands for quality and breeds according to standard, but another movement tries and actually meets the demand and breeds according to what market wants. And this is not right, and in long term it's not gonna be good for our breed. So I'm concerned, and I don't know if the development of the breed these days will be as we used to observe last 20 years. Yeah, this is my concern. We really improved the character of Doberman. The health was fine. We had no HD issues, and many qualities, many beautiful heads, many aspects of Doberman type that were present in early 2000, like dryness, nobility, good harmony in dogs, now is missing. And I don't know when and how we'll get this back. I don't know if Dimitris will agree with me, but this is my observation.
Definitely, for sure, I agree. Doberman must not have exaggerations. It's the dog of great harmony and balance. And in modern Dobermans, we see many dogs with a lot of exaggerations. That's sad. But still, they are very typical, and dry and elegant dogs, nice Dobermans still, and we must breed.
That leads me to another question. Are most Europeans who are breeders breeding for the standard, or are they breeding to supply demand to North America, which wants dogs that are not within breed standard?
Mike.
Some, it depends. You cannot say they do this or they do that. Some breeders decided that they don't want to be in a hard game, take part in the most important shows. They just do similar litters, they do sameness year by year to breed, or rather to produce what market wants. Then there are some breeders that try to play a little bit. They do 1 liter to produce dogs that are of more hyper type, that are much stronger than they should be, or to pretend that they are much stronger, but at the same time that they also want to have dogs that they can take and compete in shows. And there is a small, in fact, group of breeders that, regardless what market wants, they stick to their breeding program. They are loyal to the breed. They are loyal to the breed standard, and just breed the Dobermans the way they should be. And sadly, about some of the breeders, we don't know. They are not famous. They are not so heavily promoted in social media. They just breed their dogs day by day and try to improve the breed.
Great breeders breed according to the standard, for the standard and for the quality. Mediocre breeders, they breed for titles and for money.
That leads me to another question. And Mike, me and you've had talks about this offline. Here in America, we're really sensitive to health tests. I mean, that's everything. And to be honest with you, I think more dogs, more Dobermans get killed by swallowing the wrong thing or getting hit by a car or getting bit by a snake before they die from DCM. Explain to us why testing for DCM 1 and 2, just the gene test, why it's not as prevalent as it is here in the United States.
DCM1 and 2, these are just 2 of genes that were identified among more than 30.
Right.
So if you simply do the math and statistics, you see that this is less, this is just nothing to give you any guarantee or information about how healthy your dog potentially might be in the future. Plus, there are some research that prove that DCM1 and 2 are not even applicable to European Dobermans. They are just to American Dobermans. If you think about the effort that you have to contribute to test your dog for DCM by the book, then you should do the 24 hours halter year by year. You should do standard eco. It costs lots of money. The dog has to be a little bit shaved to put the whole equipment. And it's an effort. To do simple DCM1 and 2 test, it's just single blood test that costs $50-$70. And somehow in America, it was adopted as gold standard for the DCM checking. Simple, cheap, easy. But it doesn't mean that the dog is healthy, will be healthy, or that his progeny will be healthy. And we have numerous cases here in Europe where dogs that are DCM1 and 2 clear, they end up dying in the result of sudden death or from DCM. So this is the wrong path, relying on DCM1 and 2. But
Right.
I have no good answer why it became so popular and why you guys in America like it so much. Because at the end of the day, the scientific value of that test is very poor.
It is. And I will say for us over here in the USA that it's not a guarantee. It's not an end all be all, but that is a base for a start, right? And DCM can also be spontaneous mutated. spontaneously mutated. It means that he can be negative for DCM for 4 or 5 years, and in that 6th year, he comes back DCM one copy. So it really doesn't guarantee anything, but what it does, at least it increases our chances of dogs not perpetuating the gene. Which dog is that?
It could be one of 3. I don't know. Always someone has something to say in the right moment.
So now, Demetrius, this is going to be a good one for you, because when I created my flyer and I got photos of you, you were showing Rotties.
Yes.
Right. Tell me about the Rottie that made you, I'm gonna say, internationally famous. Tell me about this female.
That's a very interesting story. I started with this female 3 years ago. I handled the Rockies from time to time in the last 10 years, but not so many. Basically, I handled Dobermans. And once I was asked by a friend who is owner of this female, kennel name is Gerald's Rot, and to handle this female. She was at that time at about 12 months, 13 months old, you know. And when I saw her, I liked her so much. I was in love with her character, you know, immediately. And I started handling her, but I asked him, you know, one condition only, that to leave me free to handle her mostly like Doberman, because I don't like the traditional handling of Rottweilers. I don't like this strangling from the neck, you know,
Right.
on the horse and these things. You know. I don't like this type of handling. So he let me free to do what I believe. And in the first show in junior class, she was best of breed. In the second show, she was best junior in show, and she never looked back again. Last year, in 2024, she was the top dog of all breeds in Greece for the first time in history. Rottweiler is the top dog of all breeds in Greece, and this is extremely difficult because we have very high quality dogs in other groups in Greece. Also in Group 2, there's a very strong competition. She had more than 30 group wins, first or second place in a row. You know, unbelievable records. She's the record holder in the history of the Rottweiler in Greece, and she represented Greek Kennel Club in Finland at the World Dog Show. They had the special show for the top dogs. The name of the show was World Challenge of Top Dogs. 49 dogs from all over the world compete there, and we were there representing the country. It was a moment of big pride, you know, emotional moment for us. And the next day was a World Dog Show that was a big surprise for us. You know, I must say that the people in Finland, they set the bar high for all the shows all over the world. Their kindness, it was something, you know, amazing. Sportsmanship on another level, you know. And when I entered the ring, I will never forget some ladies around the ring. They asking me where I am from, where is this female from? And when I said them from Athens, you know, they said, she's going to win. She's the best, you know. And I was surprised. They had their own dogs in the ring. It was unbelievable, you know. And it was incredible. 108 entries, and we won the best of breed. I must say that the judge, Christina Niemela, a world-known specialist judge, was so kind that I will never forget. You know, she was incredible. She has the perfect eye for Rottweilers, not because she made winner or female, but because I was listening her judgment, you know. And people after the show, they congratulate her for their winners and for her winners and for her placements. And it was unbelievable. Best of breed with 108 dogs for first time Greek bred Rottweiler. See, the breeder is from the beautiful island of Creta that you both must visit once. Our dear friends George and Sandra Valkanas from Kennel on Creta Island. and the female is now 4.5 years old. She is champion in Greece, champion in North Macedonia, international champion in Finland, and world champion. She has IGP1 and BH, and now she's happily retired, and she's going to be mated soon.
Well, how old is she? How old would she be now? You still have
She's
her?
4.5 years.
4.5.
Four
Have you had any litters off of her yet?
She's going to be bred in the next 2 months.
This is a good question, then. Let me pack my guns. So, what is your process of picking the stud to mate with her? What are you looking for? And is it competitive? Because, you know, there are top tier, there's middle tier, and there's the ones that everybody has access to. What is your process in picking out which sow you're going to use?
Basically, the owner and the breeders, they choose a side that fits her very well, based on character and anatomy. And I think the one that they choose is the perfect fit for him, the perfect choice. Is a dry Rottweiler with excellent top line, excellent feet, you know, and very well angulated, great mover, great working character. But what is very impressive for this dog is that he don't have only great working character, but he's great as a pet, and he has excellent behavior between other dogs in the ring. I have seen him in shows, you know, and he's a dog with very strong nervous system. And his working abilities are, you know, incredible. That's the only I can say for them all. He's a high class worker.
So let me ask you this: what are the? Let me say this: between the Doberman and the Rottweiler, you're a Doberman guy first, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What are the differences you see, and not just visually, but what are the differences between the Dobermans that you've had or seen and the Rottweiler? What is the difference?
In terms of character, Dobermans are more energetic, you know, more nervous. They need a lot of exercise, you know, to calm down. They are always alert, you know. But Rottweilers are more calm, more self-confident, but at the same time, extremely strong dogs. They know their power, and they need leadership, but not with stupid pressure. You know. They need to respect. If you respect the Rottweiler, he will respect you. I must say that this female is maybe the best, or one of the 2-3 best characters I have ever worked with. And to say this, I have worked with many Dobermans. You know. This female is special. She stole my heart, you know, from the very first moment.
Demetris, let me ask, as I never really had the experience with Rottweilers, if you have to pick the dog that you would like to have at your home as a pet, it would be Doberman or Rottweiler?
Oh, Michael, that's this question can be
It
considered
wasn't meant to be easy.
provocation for Doberman people. You know, you know that I am in love with Dobermans, but probably I would choose one Doberman female and one Rottweiler female together.
And which breed gives you more fun to handle, Doberman or Rottweiler?
Rottweiler.
I mean, with which breed you prefer to be in the ring?
Rottweiler, because it's more competitive breed. There's bigger competition. There are more demands, you know, in the ring with Rottweilers, and also Rottweiler as a breed is more difficult than the Doberman. You need attention. You know, the Rottweiler You can touch her, you can play with her. She's calm, self-confident, everything. But if someone comes to me like, "Whoa," like this, she will immediately bite him, without hesitation. From 0 to red zone goes like this, and immediately in 0 again. This I like. This behavior I like.
So you are saying that Rottweilers have higher degree of personal protection?
For sure. Some Dobermans they also have, but I don't know if all Rottweilers are like her. She's something special. I take her with me at cafe, at restaurant. All people can pet her without any problem. She don't care about dogs and everything. Only if there is a real reason, then she's a tremendous guy by its nature, without some kind of special training. And she's incredible in obedience. Incredible. Her walking abilities are very strong. She's coming from the bloodline of Neubrand, from father's side. She's a daughter of Rudi Hauser Neubrand, a very, very strong bloodline, character.
I want to answer that one, Mike, because I've had both. I have both.
Sorry, I must show you this. This is a statue that Judge Kristina Niemela from Finland, she ordered to a famous artist as a present for the world winners. And the world winner female and the world winner male, they got this present from here. That is amazing. You can see.
Yeah, it's better than
The
the
world
couple.
winner male was the famous stud male Giacomo Dell'Oplite from Italy. And him and our female, we got this amazing present.
So, question: you never intended for the Rottweiler to be the dog that put you on the map. It was just so happened you had a great dog. It was not intentional.
No.
So here's what I say about
It happened like this. Our friend, I know him many years, and sometimes he asked me to help with one of his dogs in the past, and then he asked me to help him with his female, and that's how we started.
So
in a friendly way.
I agree with you, Demetrius. When it comes to activating my dogs at home, let's say I put them in the backyard. I let them loose in the backyard. Of course, my backyard is fenced in. There is nothing too much I have to do for my Rottweiler to kick in. He's not fucking around. He's a very serious dog. So if I was to go somewhere in public and I had my best male Rottweiler, my best male Doberman in public, my Doberman is more clear in the head. He's more subjective to letting strangers approach him with no problem. The Rottweiler is a little bit different for me. He will let people approach him, but it's how you approach him is going to dictate how he responds. If you say, "Hey, can I touch your dog?" he's going to snap. But if you say, "Hey, may I touch your dog?" Sure, here he is. But not everybody who are dog owners or who are dog lovers know how to approach a strange dog. When it comes to checking all the boxes, as far as the utility of the dog, as a avid Doberman guy that will put a tattoo on my ass if I could, I would have to go with the Rottweiler because I know that dog will cause some very, very damage. It's a body stopper. It's a man stopper.
Yes.
With Dobermans, depend on which one you get because they come in different sizes, head sizes. It determines the Doberman as far as their size and their head and their temperament. But with my Rottweiler, he will do some serious damage to an individual. And I put my boy in a AKC sponsored confirmation show, my Rottweiler. And a couple of things that I should have done and gotten used to that I didn't do is when they're doing confirmations on a Rottweiler, and the judges want to touch him and look in his mouth, grab his scrotum, he wasn't having that. And they do they have a plastic ruler to measure the head to the muzzle ratio.
The ratio between muzzle.
Right. He wasn't having that either. And it was to the point that he was about to snap, like, yo, I'm not used to nobody grabbing me from the back, and I'm not used to nobody putting something on my head. With my Dobie, 1 or 2 times of getting him familiar would have been like, okay, cool.
Yes. I think that Rottweilers need more socialization than
yes, and that's one of my
they
issues.
need to be exposed to more situations in their daily life from puppy age, in order to understand what is happening around them in the social environment better. This female Fuego is her name. What is amazing for her is that she can feel the real danger. She will not react if you come to me and say, "Hey, hi, Timmy." She will not, don't care. She will play with you. If you raise your voice, if you start to be real aggressive, she feels this.
Yeah.
This is unique for this dog. I had similar behavior. I have a Doberman in the past. She was coming from the bloodline of Gino Gomez. Michael met her, Ariel Solo Gomez. She was inbred on Gino Gomez, and she was very, very simple in reactions, and she had a tremendous guard instinct. It's not easy to find dogs in both breeds with this type of guard instinct, personal guard instinct, and also at the same time very good social dogs. They are 1 in a million, let's say, and they are not easy for ordinary people, because they can easily go on the other side.
Right. So another question too. Got 2 more, and we'll wrap it up. I know it's late where you guys are. On a Rottweiler, tail or no tail, which one you prefer?
On Rottweiler, tail.
Okay.
Because when you see the dog on the movement during the show, and tail is waving, is spectacular. Even more spectacular is when the dog is on the field of the work, and you see performing obedience, happily with tail up. Also for the dog, I like long tail. I don't have.
Me too. All
It's
right.
more
I'm
natural.
going to ask you and Mike this question, and then we'll wrap it up. What is the first number one thing that is important to you when you're picking a puppy for your home? What's the first thing that you're looking for? It doesn't have to be tangible. It can be intangible, but what are you looking for? What's most important, the first thing?
Mike.
I would say that, in my opinion, the best age to look at puppies, if you want to select one for yourself, is at 6 weeks. And at that age, you can look at some things that are and have to be important, like the depth of the chest, the bone, overall the compactness and proportions of the puppy. Then you should see the puppy moving, as you can judge better the balance, the anatomy in movement, proportions, ratio between the length of the neck and the body. And then you pay special attention to the head. If you like the expression, if you see that the lines are parallel, you like the head in front from profile. But at the end of the day, picking a nice puppy for yourself, you need to have luck. So you have to follow your instinct, your gut. You see that the 5 puppies, you have to pick one for yourself. It's you need to have this feeling that this puppy is mine. I like this one. And you might be wrong, but you have to stick to your decision. It's like if you think too long, you're not gonna pick the right puppy. You have to make your decision within 15 to 30 minutes. Then you're getting confused, you question yourself. And picking dogs, judging dogs, you have to be decisive and consistent. You need to know what you want and stick to it. If you can't make decision, you can't judge dogs, you can't pick right dogs.
What do you think about that, Dimitri?
Yes, for me, I agree with Michael, what he said about conformation. For me, the most important in choosing a puppy is the character. I can forgive some faults in conformation, but not faults in character. And the best trait, in my opinion, considering the character of a puppy, is the strong nervous system. From nervous system, they start everything. If the dog has not strong nervous system, I don't like it.
You know what? It's interesting you say that. Character to me is so important. So I put a post up about a month ago, and this is just my opinion.
And sorry, I want to add something.
Okay.
This World Dog Show in Finland was my first World Dog Show, and I must say that in the next one in Bologna, Italy, maybe we must go all together. It will be in June. When I went in the early morning at 7 o'clock, I saw in every gate more than 100 people with dogs waiting on the line. I was looking around and I said, if you don't have dog with good character, it's impossible to enter the main hall. 23,000 entries, can you imagine this? 4 days show from morning till night. It's extremely difficult. We participate twice a day. You know, the World Dog Stop Challenge in the morning, the big judging, on afternoon, the main judging, in the World Dog Show, then in the Group 2 finals, you know. And the female was all the time with tail up. You know, this is character. This is character. If the dog has some small faults, all dogs have faults, you know, even the greatest dogs, they do have faults. Important is the general impression of the dog and the character.
Dimitris, I have a question because you got into this breed Rottweiler. You are going to different shows in Greece and internationally. So you got involved into Rottweilers. You meet breeders, you see dogs, different kennels, bloodlines. These days, in
not
2025,
too much, like
not too much, but enough. Today, if you would like to have a quality dog, which dog it's easier to get these days? A good Doberman or a good Rottweiler?
That's a great question. If we speak about character, okay, I know from which kennels I have to choose to find a good Doberman. I can find without problem. You know. But I see many Rottweilers with excellent character. What I must say is that in Finland, I was extremely impressed by the quality, the character of the Rottweilers that were in the ring. 108 dogs. I didn't hear any growling, you know, no double handling, all dogs with single handling. Young girls, 17, 18 years old, older women around 60, 65 years old, they were handling all their dogs in perfection. All dogs, they were behaved so well, very happy. I like them very much. I saw many, many good characters, and I must say I was impressed. So I guess maybe it's more easy to find a good Rottweiler in character, but the Rottweiler can turn in aggression more easily if the owner is doing wrong things with this dog. It's serious dog. You cannot do bullshit with Rottweiler. They will not forgive so easily. They don't tolerate, some hard. Oh,
So, we have people that are that like both Dobermans and Rottweilers, and sometimes they are at crossroads, not knowing which breed to choose. If there is a person that is thinking about getting a large breed dog, whether it would be Rottweiler or Doberman, which one you would recommend as first large breed dog for a
female
person that has
Doberman.
no experience?
Female Doberman, not Rottweiler. Definitely not. This Rottweiler is not a breed for inexperienced people. They need experience and knowledge, and good training from puppy age. Dobermans are easier dogs for home, especially the females. Especially the females. With males, if the male Doberman has real character, then you can have some issues with their dominance, because males are very often they are very dominant. If you find dominant male, then you can be in trouble. Females are better.
Let me ask you this, and I've been getting this third-degree burn.
But sorry, as I used to say about Dobermans, maybe for both breeds I can say this: they are like race cars, like Ferrari, like Porsche. You must know how to drive. Because
Yep.
if you don't know how to drive, then if you are bus driver, taxi driver, and you don't know how to drive fast, then in the first turn you will go, in the first exit you will go out.
I put a comment on on my Facebook dog page, and I made a comment. I said, "Listen, if I have a puppy, if I'm buying a puppy and I pick a puppy out and he's skittish for no reason, nobody's beat the dog, nobody mistreated the dog, but if he's skittish, I said I'm getting rid of him because to me, I think a dog's nerves is something that's almost genetic. It's inherited. And if you've given the dog no reason to be nervous and scared of you, that means that you're up for the challenge to rehabilitate a dog. And I'm not into rehabilitating any animal. What is your views on if a puppy is born skittish? Would you still get that dog because he checks the physical boxes? Or you say, I'm not getting that dog because his character of him being skittish is a bigger box that is left unchecked?
I can start. I think that we, over the last 10, 15 years, compromised too much on character in Dobermans. We just compromised too much. And we have this pattern saying that Doberman requires socialization. Like it has to be such an extensive, serious process. From 3 months, you have to take your dog whenever it is possible to lift, to subway, hotel, shopping mall, marketplace, city, train station, everywhere. And that's just too much. I think that we have to see things the way they are and call things spade by spade. If the dog has no character, he should not get this chance to be brought into breeding, into platform of dog shows, because at the end of the day, we all pay price and the breed pays price for it. And yeah, we see many dogs, quite many, that from the beginning they didn't have a good character. But if you think about the amount of work that was invested and time in that particular dog, you see these dogs having titles, you see these dogs having ZTP, IGP, and ZTP, and even higher grades. But deep inside, these dogs have no good character, and this is something that bothers us, me personally, and I'm not alone here. That we shouldn't take such a big compromise on character. If the dog has no good character, the breed is a selection, it's a no-go.
That's how I
I
feel.
had the honor during the years to handle some amazing Dobermans in car. And I am sad, like Michael, when I see Dobermans that they are not typical representatives of their breed in terms of character. Dobermans in the past, they used to have incredible character. There are still some real good ones, but we have to search a lot and to be careful, in selection, also in breeding, and we must not compromise. I would never choose a dog with bad character, but of course, uh, I help a lot. I help many dogs with character issues uh, to be improved. You can improve, but you can fix some things in training, but genetics are genetics.
That's true. Hey guys, I want to say we've talked almost an hour and 15 minutes.
It's a great pleasure.
Yes. Listen, we got to do this again. You agree, Mike?
100%.
I think, Mike, we need to start doing this more often. We bring some people on, man, some people who are really important in this dog community. So you got some homework to do, and we got to bring Demetrius back. I want to thank both of you guys for being on with me this late in the day. And I want to always say at the end of every podcast, be resilient, but be responsible. Until next time.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
watching.
so much. It was a great pleasure for me, a great honor to join you tonight, today in USA. And I hope to see you, to meet you in person at some other show.
You will.
And
Take care.
thank you.